Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This is the Homesteading Hills. My name is Therese, and if you're new here, welcome aboard. And if you're returning, thank you so much for returning. So today I wanted to hop on and just do hopefully a quicker video than the last couple, but we'll see, about kind of this new journey that I'm embarking on. I turned 57 this year, so I'm upwards of hitting 60. And I've had some health issues that have been kind of plaguing me for a while, and I'm trying to take charge of my life. So if you kind of want to get caught up, if you haven't, go back and watch the previous two videos. That'll explain a lot. But today what I wanted to talk to you about was two things. One is the confusion surrounding ways of eating / diets, how many there are out there, finding the right one for you. And the second one is what my plan is personally to try to tackle. It's not just my weight, it's my symptoms that I have that I really want to heal, I guess you'd say. I really want to heal my body. So that's what I'm working on. And so when you look at diets in general, and diet's kind of a misleading word, I think, because they're really ways of eating in a lot of instances. There's, from the older diets of the Weight Watchers and the Atkins and the South Beach to the Zone diet, the Paleo diet, the Keto diet, the Carnivore diet, the Mediterranean diet, the Nordic diet. Those are just a few of them. A lot of them are very well-rounded ways of eating. And so I think that that's important. I have tried every single one of those I've just listed off for y'all over the years. But I think, finding the one that works right for you is what is important. And that's kind of, where I'm at right now. I think, and of course, if you want to work with a doctor, a naturopath, a nutritionalist, those are all great ideas to help dial in, your food and your diet. And it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're just trying to move the scale, if you're trying to heal something specific like insulin resistance or like fatty liver disease or, high blood pressure, I guess that's another one, the DASH diet, the MIND diet, which I have tried variations of those over the years. And I think the best way of eating is the healthy way of eating that you can stick to and it's sustainable for you, so that's kind of where I'm coming from. I have a terrible sweet tooth, and I'm terrible with cravings. Sometimes it's not even for sweets. Years back, it was crab. I wanted some crab, and I craved crab for like 3 months until I finally got it. The cravings for me, they don't go away. The cravings are hard. I can get up and take a walk. I can go work outside with the animals. I can do my dishes, my laundry, go run some errands, and days go by and I still want that food. The cravings don't go away. So that is one of the things I'm tackling. I could tell you that Weight Watchers was hard because I felt like I was hungry all the time counting the points. I did it when they were doing the point system and you got so many points a day. At the time, Atkins and South Beach, that was like the original like low carb, the OG of the low carb world. And I just had a hard time with that. I had a young family with young kids, and so I'm not going to make them eat that way. I'm going to give them their sandwiches and their, yogurts or whatever. And so it was difficult to stick to those. I started the MIND diet for a while, which kind of similar to DASH in some ways, I think. And it just had so much grains on it. That's another one. At some point, I went in with some of my symptoms, and my chiropractor said, do me a favor and try cutting gluten out for a month. And I was gluten-free for 2 years because I dropped the gluten, and this was in my early 40s, and I dropped the weight immediately. Like 6 weeks, I dropped 18 pounds. My blood work was great at that time. My triglycerides were the lowest they've ever been. so gluten-free was something, so I was sure I had celiacs. And then I went in and my doctor finally had them do, because I was having stomach issues, scope. And when they did the scope, they did a biopsy. And they're like, no, you don't have celiacs. And since then, I've had genetic testing that says, yeah, you don't have celiacs. But I did do better without the grains. So that was one thing. Zone, when I got into CrossFit about 9 years ago, I tried to do the zone. For me, it was very complicated. Wasn't something that was sustainable. Went into paleo, did better with the paleo diet, honestly. Vegetarian and veganism. Younger years, when I left the farm I grew up on and had to go to the grocery store to buy my own meat, the quality of meat at the grocery store was significantly different than the quality of meat that I was used to being raised on the farm. And I had 2 or 3 years where I was vegetarian because I didn't want to eat the meat at the grocery store. And prior to getting diagnosed with breast cancer, I did do a stint for about 8 months of being a vegan. My personal thoughts on veganism is I don't think it's a complete diet. For some it may work, and that's the key, is that this is my opinion, and my opinion only, having actually done it for about 8 months, is the sustainability of it health-wise was concerning to me. And when I went in, I did it 8 months leading up to my breast cancer surgery, and I went in and saw a naturopath down in Portland, Oregon, and she said she'd take me on. She worked with a lot of cancer patients. She said she'd take me on, but she really was advising me to add proteins, not soy proteins, not animal or plant-based proteins, but to add real whole, good quality meat proteins back in, animal proteins back into my diet. So that's when I started adding some animal proteins back in. And that was kind of the end of that journey for me. I've not tried it again since then. I've tried keto over the years, and I just didn't feel great having that much fat. And when I say try these diets, I'm not just saying I'm trying them for a day or a week. I'm trying them for a month, 2 months, 3 months sometimes to see where I can get with them. And it's not been always about just losing the weight or the scale, guys. It's also, as I get older, about mobility and achy joints and like some of the other symptoms we've talked about. So, and then that went into me finally trying keto, or trying carnivore, And carnivore for me, the scale doesn't always move, but my measurements do. They go down. And one thing that carnivore does for me that no other diet has ever done for me is it removes the cravings. Within 7 days of eating the carnivore diet, my cravings for the chocolate and the cupcakes and the ice cream and the donuts and the pancakes and all of that stuff, the cravings go away. And so then it makes it very easy, and the satiety is there. I think with carnivore for me though, my biggest challenge with carnivore is dialing in my protein to fat ratios, making sure that I eat enough, because believe it or not, guys, you feel full. And I also feel like sometimes it's rich or a lot. The amount of protein can be a lot, and I just can't do it that much in one setting. So I have to balance the protein and the fat in it. But again, now this is just my opinion. I know right now carnivore is the hot thing, and I'm not knocking it. I'm actually doing it right now. But I don't know that it is super sustainable or super complete as a diet long term. Now, I'm not saying you can't do it, for a month, 6 months, a year, 2 years. And I know there's a lot of carnivores out there that are thriving, doing it years and years and years and years. For me, I'm not comfortable with that personally. So how I'm using, and I do this every so often, I will go back when I know I need to tighten things back up or my cravings are out of control, and I use carnivore to reset, to get the cravings under control. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now, why I am choosing carnivore. So I'm trying to think if that's about all the diets I've tried. I did the Mediterranean diet. just too much pasta, too much rice, too much couscous, too much carbs for me personally. Didn't feel great on it. I love the olive oil. That my body does do well on is olive oil. And I've tried the Nordic diet, which is similar to the Mediterranean diet, but the Nordic diet uses canola oil, and trying to find real canola oil in the United States, it's different in Sweden and Norway and all those other, Switzerland and Iceland. The canola oil is different quality than what we have available to us typically in the US. So, and I like that one real well. So those are kind of the ones that I have tried. And right now, as I said, I'm doing the carnivore. I'm planning on 30 days. I'm almost 2 weeks into the 30 days. I'll do a video at a month kind of telling you if anything's improved and what has improved. I'm planning on starting to add in, my plan at that point is I want to start adding in some fruit. I want to start adding in a few vegetables. I want to start adding in some sweet potatoes, and I'm looking forward to the fall. One of my favorite things in the fall, guys, is I love butternut squash. I love acorn squash. I love pumpkin. All the fall and winter squashes I love. So I'm looking forward to that. I would like to eat them. Probably, I'm not sure on white potatoes. That's one thing that can set me off. And I guess that's the other thing I should talk to you guys about is I have, over the last several years, as I've started to see myself lean more and more or go more and more towards this metabolic disease and insulin resistance, I have been tracking my glucose levels. I have a monitor, and I will, not just my morning readings, my fasting readings, but I will also go ahead and test, 2 hours after each meal. Sometimes I'll let it go a little more. Sometimes I'll do a little bit earlier. I would love to be able to do a continuous glucose monitor just so I can see it. Maybe if I can get some of these videos to earn enough money, I will take some of the money and I will go ahead and get a continuous glucose monitor that I can then pay even closer attention to what foods do. And I noticed that what a food does to me if it spikes my insulin, typically that doesn't just make me have the crashes, have jitters, be unfocused. It also goes into nighttime where I wake up with that cortisol insulin rush about 3 in the morning. And when my blood sugars are more stable and I can bring them down and give my body a break from all the ups and downs of insulin levels, I sleep better, or tend to. So that's what I'm trying to do with carnivore. I don't want to turn any of you off. Some of you will love it. Some of you will say, you should never go off of it. And others of you say it's too extreme. I could never do it. I'm not interested in it. But my goal is to start to let my body have a break from the surges of the insulin that I get from eating too much sugar. And I just know that that is an issue for me. So, the other thing I should bring up is intermittent fasting. Typically I eat 2 meals a day. I will get up and have a cup of coffee, and depending on, like this morning I don't rely on a lot of supplements, but I felt like putting a half a scoop of protein powder. I do have some in my pantry, and a scoop of collagen in with my heavy cream, mixing that up and adding the coffee. A lot of times it's just a cup of coffee with a tablespoon of heavy whipping cream in it, and I'll have that in the morning. After I come out and get my sunshine and have my salt water, my electrolytes, I will have my coffee. And then that lasts me till the noon or 1 o'clock. So I eat 1 meal then, and we have our last meal between 6 and 7 usually. And then I don't snack before bed. I don't eat before bed. And so I have, though, done intermittent fasting, where I've gone up to 72 hours of fasting. That did kickstart weight loss for me, but it's not my favorite thing to do. I guess there's just something about it to me that doesn't feel good for me personally. So I'm not saying I won't do that. Like if I'm eating good, eating clean, not eating the sweets, and I start, really hitting being able to exercise more and be more active, and the scale just isn't moving, after a month or two of that, or I probably will resort to doing a 24-hour fast here, a 48-hour fast there, just to try to kick things going in the right direction. I really would like to avoid that. It's just not my thing. But I know if you guys have had success with intermittent fasting or any of these other diets, leave it down in the comments what you liked about the particular way of eating. Again, diet to me doesn't make sense. If you're doing something that's a balanced, nutritional, you've gotten the processed foods out, you've gotten most of the sugars out, it makes you feel better, it's helping you control whatever issues that were creeping in, and it's sustainable for you. Leave it down in the comments for other viewers to see and get ideas from. So I think that's mainly what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Just there's so much noise around this issue, and it can be triggering. There's people that swear by, I only do this, don't even talk to me about any other stuff. I'm not quite that way, but because I'm not quite that way, I will investigate or look into all of them, and I have in the past. I mean, I'm old enough to have gone through all of them, but I think way of eating is better if you're doing it correct and making sure you're getting enough food, not too much food, and you're balancing it out with enough different things. I think any of these diets can be healthy, I believe, and good for you. So I think that's what I wanted to pop on and just kind of let you know. Starting carnivore, starting to add some fruits and veggies in. From there, my starches are primarily going to be my squash and sweet potatoes with all my vegetables and fruit. My good oils, I'll do some tallow and some avocado and olive oil and coconut oil. Those will be butter. Those will be my main things. I am going to add dairy. I have had genetic testing done, and I already knew this before the genetic testing, that I do not have any issues with lactose or anything like that. So I love raw dairy and cultured dairy, so that will always be a part of my diet. I don't get the bloat. It doesn't bother me. But I think that will at least give you guys an idea of where I'm going. And again, I rambled too much. Sorry about that, but there's a lot to get out there. There's a lot I want to say. And plus it lets you guys get to know me. It was, where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to achieve. And I hope you can relate to this. I hope it can encourage you. That is one of the reasons I'm doing this, is not just for my own accountability to try to get my life back on track, but maybe I can inspire somebody else to take a step, whether it's starting to walk, whether it's cutting out your nightly bowl of ice cream, whether you're trying to get more protein in, which is really important for older women, is, because as we age, our muscles, they go down. We don't have as much muscle. So protein helps combat that. So protein's extremely important as we age. So trying to get the protein in, just maybe I can encourage you to take steps to get your health back. And plus you guys encouraged me, and I love that. And so I want to thank you all for have commented, I did this, or good luck on it, you can do it. That means the world to me. So thank you for the encouragement, and I wish all you guys blessings, success, love, all that good stuff. And until the next time, we will see ya. Catch you on the next time. Thanks. Bye.